attendance, especially when you're not here. Okay, very important because I still have to take attendance based on who turns in an assignment, but I don't always give you an assignment to do every day. So that's the reason why we do this attendance form. Okay. For those of you that alternated the 2 weeks at home and 2 weeks back last semester, you know that there's always an option that says I'm at home or my seat number. So be sure that you do that every day because I use that to do attendance. So like tomorrow, I'll be entering today's attendance for our students that are at home. Then on Friday, when you guys are home, on Monday, I'll enter your attendance. I know it's confusing, but it's the system that works for me. It worked for me last spring when we were stuck at home, and it seems to work pretty well for me this semester as well as it did last semester. So again, be sure that especially when you're home, you are signing in for attendance. Okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a video on how to make an electromagnet. On your tables, you have a tray that has some wire, a screw or a nail, 2 different batteries, some alligator clips. The alligator clips are well, they look like alligators. And those are in case you want to use the 9-volt battery. I found when I was trying to get this lab to work yesterday, I was having some issues, that if I clip the wire to the alligator clip and then clip the alligator clip to the 9-volt battery, that's the square one, it worked much better. If you don't want to use the 9-volt battery, you do not have to. You can use the C. It works just as well. Okay?
Well, what's the difference? Why would you use the other one?
Because 9 volts versus 1.5. It's a competition thing. If you want to see which one works better. It's called engineering, troubleshooting. It's called having fun. Okay? And these times in the middle of a pandemic, when no teacher was taught how to teach in a pandemic, I'm trying to come up with fun things to do. All right, so I'm going to show you a video. You also have a little bit of sandpaper. The reason for that is this wire is brand new. I cut it this morning. And so what you're going to do is you're going to find my piece. I can't find it at the moment. But what you're going to do, wire. What you'll do is you'll take a piece, you'll take your sandpaper, I'm going to borrow your sandpaper for a second, and you're going to fold it over and sand the coating off of the wire. You probably want to do, I did about 1 inch. You can do more than that, but that's just what I did because I've done this many times. So that's what the sandpaper's for, in case you need to do that. I do not recommend sanding the whole thing. 1, because it takes too long, and 2, I didn't give you that much sandpaper. Okay, so you're going to do about 1 inch down, but if you want to do more than that, you can. Okay, so let's quickly look over what you're actually doing. Last year, I used a combination of C cells and D cells. This year, what I had left were C cells and 9 volts, and they need to be used. So that's the reason why you have those. You have about 1 meter of wire. I didn't measure it out exactly. I just wrapped it around my hand and snipped it. That's all I did. It tells you, to cut it off. Don't cut it off. Just leave it the way it is. Okay, and you can figure out how you want to wind it. I don't want to tell you how to do it, but the picture here kind of explains it. The picture, in most labs online, when you see it, they use a AA. Problem with AA's in this particular lab is that they don't last very long. Hey, Coach, what are you looking for?
Great question.
You're what?
I'm just looking.
Oh, you're not going to find much.
I know.
We've been cleaning that room out back there. Basically, your goal, you have 10 paper clips. Your goal is to try to pick up all 10. Okay? That's why I gave you the 2 different batteries. One of them may work better than the other. Okay. You don't have a battery holder. You don't actually need it. But I will tell you that these batteries can get hot. If it starts to get hot, disconnect it. Okay? I know, it's funny, but I've had to explain this to people before. So all you're going to do, if you're using your C-cell battery, you're going to hold the wire. You know, I don't know how many turns I did on this particular one. You're going to hold it and see how many of the paper clips you can pick up. Okay? The wire is magnetic. The screws and the nails are also magnetic. So I don't want to hear, this doesn't work. I promise you, I tested every single thing. It works. Okay? I was here for an hour yesterday, and I got here at 6:30 this morning to make sure everything worked and was set up and ready to go and clean. All right. You're not going to have to answer anything on a sheet of paper. It's a Google Doc, so you can answer right here. That's your assisted assignment. Your unassisted assignment for this is the CER. Okay? So when you come back to
That's a lot of points.
Would you rather have a test?
No, I mean, but like, that's a lot of points. I'm not complaining.
Quit complaining.
All right.
I'm very happy to do this.
All right. Okay. So whoops, hold on. I got to switch it on my other computer. I forget which one's hooked up to what. All right. So this is your assisted assignment. So what would be technically called your homework or daily work. Your unassisted assignment is the CER. Okay. This is the thing you're going to fill out after the lab. You can start working on it today, but I do not anticipate you finishing it before Friday. Hence the reason it has a Friday due date. So it's just questions. The first one, you're making a claim. What is the relationship between the number of coils and the number of paper clips that you can pick up? What did you do to create the electromagnet? What information did your group record? Unfortunately, you're not actually working in a group. You are a group of 1, but normally you would be working as pairs. That's your evidence. What did you do to determine if the number of coils affected the strength? How did you figure it out? I know, but I'm not going to tell you. In the past, you would have had to draw this on paper, but you can just copy and paste an image from Google of an electromagnet doing exactly what you're doing. You'll notice here in a second, the video I'm going to show you, you can probably freeze that and snip it and put it in there. Just saying. There's a couple of real world type questions. How would you help these guys out? And then here are some samples of some other materials. Would they do a good job in making an electromagnet? And how do you know? Okay. So that's the unassisted part that is due on Friday. Today you're working on the assisted, which is actually building the electromagnet. Okay. And you have 2 questions to answer for today. So I'm going to turn off the lights and I'm going to show the video. It's about 2 minutes. I think they use a AA, but why use a AA when you've got others? The voltage is the same. And I have some of those nails if you want to play with them. Don't cut them. Just any extra wire, just leave it there. All right. So there's lots of different ways you can do this. You notice they had their coils kind of spaced far apart. Here's mine. My coils are close together. You know, just kind of work with it and see what you can get it to do. That's what makes this fun, is there's not one complete, this is the right way to do it. I do have some of those finishing nails, like what you saw in the video. If you want some of those, I can give you some of those too. But this is just what I had handy, so that's what I did. Notice that I didn't cut my wire, okay? I just left it long. Wire has very, very little resistance, so you shouldn't have a problem. But like I said, when you're using the sandpaper, so this is just a piece of paper, but what you're going to do is you just do it this way. Just fold the sandpaper over and just kind of strip the coating off of the wire, okay? Now, as you know, that's going to cause friction, and what does friction do to the temperature of the wire?
Make it hot.
It may become hot, okay? So take your time and do it slowly, okay? Generally, if you work it in one direction like this, it cuts down the friction, okay? This isn't like our static electricity lab where we were like trying to rub those electrons, okay? So, lab today, you can open up your CER also if you want to answer the questions of it as you go. That's fine. Both of these are due on Friday. All right?
Alrighty.
All right.